Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to go over picking new wheels for the Track 350Z. If you're just joining in now, we're working with Levine Motorsports to take this previously successful 350Z track car, and we're going to be making it faster. We're doing that by making it lighter. You can see here we're fitting a carbon fiber hatch and some Lexan windows, and we're going to make the car more powerful. So this car previously had a built naturally aspirated VQ35DE. It's one of the most powerful naturally aspirated VQ35DEs in the world, and we're just going to make it a little bit more powerful. This is an OEM donor motor. We're going to be taking that block and those new valve covers, and we're going to be installing the built heads and the built components from the race engine, and we're just going to basically be refreshing everything, making everything brand new. These are the JWT C10 and C9 cams, each with 13 millimeters of lift, that we're going to be reinstalling on the engine. And we've just ordered the JE 12.5 to 1 compression pistons. If you saw last episode, we damaged our 12 to 1 compression pistons, so new ones are on the way. Those new pistons are about a 7-week wait as they're a custom order, so we're just going to keep working on the car. We can make it lighter. We've got a bunch of parts up on the shelf still to go on. One of the main ones is the new wing, the APR GT250. So I've actually been a 350Z owner a very long time. It was my first car in 2004. I've stuck with it for a very long time and have had a few set of wheels over the years. My first set of wheels was a set of Volk Racing GTVs. I saw them in an import magazine, decided I had to have them. And back then, prior to 2010, if you went to a 350Z meet, it was very common to see cars on Volk Racing, Advan, BBS, or maybe work wheels. It was a new car, and people were more willing to shell out higher prices for new wheels. So back then, that's all you saw. It was just very uncommon to see anything else. And that's because the forged wheels are higher quality, that you can't beat them. The wheels are forged from a single billet piece of aluminum, and then they're made into wheels that have unsurpassed durability, and they're very light and very strong. So if I was going all out, I would probably pick a set of these. A set of Volk Racing TE37 Sagas, 18-inch by 11 plus 12. They're wide enough to fit just about any tire you would need, and they're extremely light and extremely strong. But unfortunately, they're also very expensive. And so if you are unwilling to thrash an expensive set of wheels, sometimes it makes sense to make a cost compromise. So for the past 10 years, I've been going with an NK RPF1, and I've been treating them very badly, bouncing over curbs, going as fast as I can. I've had 3 sets of NKs, and I've only ever put a small bend in one of them. So as a cost compromise, I'd recommend the NK RPF1. I used an 18 by 10.5 plus 15 with a lot of success over the years. I also had a set of 9.5 wide years ago. But that brings us to today's video. What have I picked for this year? And I've gone with Koenig's. Now, those of you that have been in the game a long time know that Koenig wasn't always a good brand of wheels. It was more about making the style accessible. There wasn't really any innovation in design. They weren't very strong, and they weren't very light. They started to try to shake that image by sponsoring import events and by getting into the Fast and Furious franchise, etc. But really, what you usually ended up getting was a cheap set of wheels, and that was it. But in 2005, a company called YHI International, which actually builds Formula One wheels now, purchased Koenig, and then in 2006 they purchased NK and OZ, and since then the quality of Koenig wheels has really increased. And that's not because Koenig has stepped their game up, it's because they've basically just absorbed the NK technology. So now in 2022 you can pick up a set of Koenig hypergrams. They basically use NK's wheel making technology. They are not forged wheels, but they're the next best thing. They are lightweight, they're strong. And the main advantage over the NK wheels is you get a little bit more size choice. So these are 18 by 11s, which are not available in RPF1s, but it's exactly what I'm looking for because the tires that are available now are available in wider widths, and some of them, like the Pirelli Trofeo R, benefit from a bit of a sidewall stretch. So the wider the wheel, the better response of the tires, and since we're going to be taking on some very tough cars, we need all the advantage that we can get. So hence the decision to go with an 11-inch wide wheel for this. So it is of note that this size and offset of wheel will need a 3mm spacer on the front of the 350Z. Still, given the cost difference between the Volk racing wheels, which I previously recommended, and these Koenigs, that's a pretty good cost compromise to make. And I trust the wheels since I've abused NK wheels for so many years in the past. So that's a quick wrap up to this week's episode. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions about choosing wheels and tires for your Track 350Z, drop them in the comment section below. I'll try and answer them. For this week, that's all. Thanks.